Hello, I'm Matthew from LudoChrono, and today I'm going to give you an overview of FootClub. So FootClub is a soccer game, a football game. It's for two players and it plays for players of 10 and up. And it plays either for 15 minutes or 60 minutes. So why the discrepancy between these durations? So you can play as a junior or you can play a full game. So I'm going to focus on the junior rules first, but let me talk about the components first. So you've got teams of players and you want to score as many points as possible because you score goals. That's the basic of football. So in this case, you have two teams of 11 players and you have a trainer as well, which you use mostly in senior mode. And on the cards, you have the players have stars, and it's quite important because it's their level of skill. And this is what you're going to use all the time when you perform checks. But you also have icons which will cover in the expert mode. We have supporters, and the supporters are basically support, and they can be expanded to give you more attack or defense, but at only 1 point in the game. So when you use a supporter, it is expanded and you can't use it anymore. But they can be a requirement for some actions, so you should pay attention to the supporters that you have. And finally, you have your own personal deck. It is made out of a certain number of cards, and those cards are actions that you're going to perform during the game. So you have support, you have attacks, you have tackles, you have everything you could do in a football game, basically. So how does this game work? You're going to take turns, and the turns are simultaneous. People play together, there is no downtime or so. First, the players are going to draw 2 cards from their own stacks, and second, the players may be able to play a supporter from their hand, if they have one. Thirdly, people are trying to take control of the ball. So for example, if that player, the red player, had the ball, I could, as the blue player, I could perform actions. So I could play harass cards or tackle cards, which I don't have at the moment. So I have tackles, and it's going to help me, the text of the card is going to help me go through it. So the tackle is, and the harass actions are going to be resolved through dice. Tackles are done only with 1 person, and harass actions are going to be done with 2 actions. So we roll dice, we add that up to our stars, we subtract the stars of the defending player, and we get a result which tells us if it succeeded or not. So this is how it basically works. You're going to have a lot of checks, but they all are on the same model, but a bit different. So if I take the ball from the other player, that player, the red player, can in turn try to take the ball from me or pass. So if that player fails or that he passes, we move on to the offensive, the attack phase. So the player who has the ball can try to attack the other player. And this is the moment when we can score goals, but only if we have attack cards. So if I play an attack card, I can try to attack and try to score a goal. The attacker and defender will roll die. We have to check if the goalie comes in, if we do a corner. So there are a lot of kind of rules to explain how you score a goal. I'm not going to go over it so much. But if you score a goal, the round ends. If you don't score a goal, the round ends as well, but you keep the ball. If you score a goal, the ball goes to the other team and a new round starts. So the game ends when you run out of cards and you count who has the most goals, and that's the winner. That's the basics of the game. In the expert mode, you're going to have more rules, but you're going to expand on these junior rules. So it's kind of important to know them beforehand. So in the expert mode or advanced mode, you're going to draft your team. So you're creating your team alongside with the other players. So you're going to try to have the best team, design a strategy behind what players you choose, and balance them out. Also, what the advanced mode adds is fatigue. You start with a certain number of fatigue tokens that you spend for some actions. And not every player has the same amount of fatigue. And when a player is fatigued, you don't have as many options. But the supporters can be burnt to make people recover some fatigue, so that's kind of nice. Also, the player who has the ball is more important in the senior mode, because you have these ribbons here, and the ribbon is very important. If I want to make this counter attack, I have to check who can do it. So in this case, the die, the ball die, is on the green side. So this is very important because we're going to roll it at every halftime. And it is green, I have to check, it's green, so it's my attacker. So it's my rightmost attacker who will perform this action. So it's kind of important because they don't have the same scores, the same proficiencies, so it's really important. Then I might have some bonuses depending on the traits of the characters. So for example, if I do a counter attack, I get bonus points if I am a good shot, but I get more bonuses if I can sprint, and this is very important because the bonuses are huge. So then you perform the action, you perform the actions the same, but the ball moves around quite a lot. So you also have tackling, which is different from the junior game. You can tackle aggressively, and if you do that, it's easier to tackle people, but you can get yellow cards, red cards, get excluded, wound other people, but the other people can get replaced. And when you are replaced, you're replaced with a lot of energy, so that's kind of nice. So you have these whole new set of rules which expands the game, and you look at what the ball, where the ball is, what can you do with it. And it's much more difficult because you have to manage your hand and manage your players. And that's it for FootClub. You know almost everything about it, so see you under the box.